Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear
What's
me?
going on? I can hear you.
All right, perfect. How are you, Chris?
I'm all right. Nursing a knee that got dislocated and probably has an ACL tear. And the jail has given me 0 pain meds in the past 6 days. And they said that their orthopedic doctor didn't show up today. So therefore now I have to wait 2 weeks to get an MRI. And I'm walking around on this thing because they won't give me any crutches. And they gave me a cane that comes up to my armpit. And dealing with that. And then I've been waiting to get for about 2 months now, waiting to get something printed out so I can send it in pro se into my judge, my lovely Judge McFadden. And so FBI, hey, do me a favor. Knock on Judge McFadden's door and tell him that I need to get something sent to him. Maybe I should just throw him some.
Yeah, ever.
But yeah, a happy 1,000th day of the Fedsurrection. And and it just happens to be. I'm surprised that Q hasn't said something about this and the 1,000th day insurrection and the 1,000th day McCarthy leaving, and so McCarthy got booted. So good for him. That's what happens to normal people when you don't do your job.
Yeah, typically you get
And
fired.
I mean, it's basically that's what needs to happen, and that's what needs to happen across the board. When you don't do your job, you get booted. I mean, it's not. It's kind of how the rest of us live. If you don't do your job, you get fired. That's how it should be. It's not like some crazy some crazy ideology over here. It's, the rest of America lives by this policy. Why shouldn't you?
That's a good question. It's a very good question.
So anyway, Mac is going through court right now. So say a prayer for him. Hopefully everything's going well. He doesn't like to talk about it, obviously, when he's back here. And we've had some pretty crazy nights over here. And interesting to say the least. And that's where we're at in the old gulag. But I need to. It's crazy. It's been like almost 2 months since I've been. They just don't respond. I've been talking to our case manager, Miss McCain, for 2 months now, and she said, "Oh well, let me bring it to legal." And then she says a month and a half later, she says, "Oh well, I finally hunted down legal, and they said it's not in their wheelhouse." I said, "So what? The 5 request forms and the 3 IGPs that I sent in, that they just didn't answer? They just didn't feel like answering those? Like, that's not how this works. If it's not in your wheelhouse, you have to say, hey, this isn't our deal. You have to go over here. Like, it's just another way that the DC jail and the corruption is preventing us from working on our case. I've been asking for a laptop for 4 months. They haven't given me one. They denied my lawyer access 2 weeks ago because of COVID restrictions, even though I never tested positive for COVID. And then they let other people's lawyers in, public defenders in. They're doing the same thing that they've been doing, going back 2.5 years. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if we got to start calling again, but they are 100% denying rights. We need to find out. I know in Northern Neck we had Marshall Haywood and he was like our direct guy. We need to find out who our direct guy is over here, because, you know, I should not be, you know, in a knee brace from the hospital. They did take me to the ER. I finally, you know, almost 24 hours later, they brought me to the ER. The doctor said, hey, listen, you know, the x-ray came back negative. It's not life-threatening, so we don't do MRIs here because this is the ER, unless it was life-threatening. You have to follow up with an orthopedic. You have to, and they told, and I said, listen, everything needs to be in the directions. He says it's in the directions. I circled the number of the orthopedic. And he told the guards, and he said, you need to follow up with an orthopedic immediately. Tell them immediately. And it was on the directions immediately. Well, then I got back to the jail, and the doctor comes in, and she says, oh, good news. It's nothing serious. It's not broken. And I go, what are you insane? And I'm not making, I mean, I can't make this up. I would never, listen, my wife worked in the health profession. I said, I didn't say.
Right.
She comes into me and she goes, there's nothing seriously wrong with you. And she goes, here you go. You're fine. You're good to go. I go, what do you mean I'm good to go? He specifically, I said, I need to follow up with an orthopedic. Oh, well, we'll decide that at a later date. No, you won't. I went to a doctor, an outside doctor, who doesn't have an agenda. I said, you guys just got sued. Literally just got sued. I said, you want to go for lawsuit number 2? Because I have the number. So that's the other thing. If anyone wants to call up the number of this lawsuit, this class action lawsuit, that there was no money for it or anything like that, and call them up and give them my name, because they're up to the same games over and over again. I never put my name in the first time. I should have, about the food and everything else, and them not giving me the medically, you know, because I have celiac, and them not giving me the medically needed diet, even when it was court mandated. But they're up to the same games. Everything is just, it doesn't matter what you do. They're getting a boatload of money for us because we're classified as, you know, high risk and this and that and whatever. They're getting a boatload of money every day for us. And we're not getting anything, you know, it's not that we should get anything special, but we should get what the U.S. Marshals says that we should get. And what the U.S. Marshals say that we should get.
Care that every human is afforded those rights.
Absolutely. And this isn't a January 6th issue. Okay? This is a human rights issue.
Right.
Everything, I mean, listen, everything that we're demanding, we should be demanding for the whole jail, because and for every federal detainee in the DC jail.
Absolutely.
It's not just you know, for a J6er.
Well, you think about it. You think this is how they treat you guys, and you guys have supporters standing out here every night, and people that are willing to make phone calls and write letters and stand up and advocate for you on your behalf. Think about the other people in this jail that don't have any of that, and how they're being treated just as horribly, if not worse.
Yep, absolutely. You know, it goes back just of the hatred that they have for us. It goes back to what was his name? The one guy, he's over in South too. He's a round fellow, bald head, about 5'5", 5'6", and he absolutely hates us. And every single person that goes through quarantine over there, they play games and they don't move the individuals to C3A like they should.
Right.
All of the J6ers I'm talking about. Every single person they try moving into the max block.
Right.
Every single person. Why do they do that? And we're admin seg. We're not protective custody. We're not this. We're not that. The jail has deemed us admin segregation. Okay? It's not anything that I signed up for. This is what the jail wanted. This is what Congress wanted, or whatever it is. They cleared this block out a week before January 6th. Specifically because they knew that the insurrection was going to happen and that they were going to arrest a bunch of people. And unlike the BLM riots and the other riots, whether it be the Department of Interior or McCarthy's office or anything else, they're not just going to, arrest these people, or not even arrest them, or arrest them and then let them go. They're going to keep us here for 2.5 years for pretrial detention, not give us any way to work on our cases. And when we finally do, through, borrowing a laptop here and a laptop there, that way we got 2 laptops going around the whole pod, which is fine when we have 2 laptops, but sometimes it's months that we even have a laptop at all for any of us to work on our stuff. So, like I said, now, hey, what do you know? Since last time I talked to you guys on this, and I said, we have updated weather patterns, hey, what do you know? That stopped. Now it's just 55 degrees and sunny all the time on the laptop. So now that's stopped. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the illegal monitoring of our classified and discovery and lawyer stuff that we're working on, that doesn't mean that it's being monitored. There's still internet going to it. And there shouldn't be.
Right.
I mean, the DOJ spent, millions upon millions upon millions of dollars prosecuting January 6ers. Go out, go spend, 15 grand or 10 grand, whatever it is. These laptops that they give us, retail are $300. So go out and buy 10, 15 of them and throw them in this pot. That's all you need to do. Or go out and buy 50 of them. 15 grand? So go spend 15 grand. The DOJ spent millions of dollars. 15 grand is a drop in the bucket. Not even a drop in the bucket. So it's pretty frustrating. But again, I need to get this thing printed out. I've talked to my case manager for over, well over a month, almost 2 months. And with my lawyer not getting here to be able to give it to them to print out and get it sent into the judge, they're delaying my case. It's the DOJ is again the one held responsible for this.
Well, and it's got to be even more frustrating because at the same time that y'all are having...
You have 1 minute remaining.
Such a difficult time getting laptops to view your Discovery and other pods. They're using Xboxes to play games. So that's got to be a bit...
Yeah, and they got Xboxes and other pods. And the thing is, and it's these lawyers too. These lawyers aren't doing their job. I'll flat out say, I have serious issues. I've spent over 300 grand in lawyers. They aren't doing their job.
Well, if their job is to take the money and run, then they're doing their jobs. But other than that, you're right.
They take the money and run.
They're not doing a whole lot.
They take the money and run, and that's what they want to do. Whether they're getting paid 40 grand or whether they're getting paid 150 grand, they're just taking the money, doing the bare minimum work, and then they're running. Exactly. And it's disgusting.
Well, we're about to get
anyway, guys. Listen, love you guys. Thank you so much for staying out there. And, 1,000 days.
Thank you for
Sorry.
That was Chris Quaglin, in case anybody didn't know. And he was just saying, thanks for being out here. And, we mourn 1,000 days of going through this bullshit.